Real, raw, unmatched. Real, raw, unmatched. That's right. Welcome to the Unfiltered Podcast, where we aim to inspire, inform, entertain, uplift, and most importantly, keep it real. I'm your host, the official Tori G. You can follow me on Instagram at the official Tori G. That's Tori and the letter G. Ashley, how you doing?
What's up? How are you?
What's poppin', girl? We back up in this thing.
We back and better. 2020. Happy 2020. You know, I think it's our first episode of 2020. And follow me on IG _Miss Ashley with 2 Y's, Nicole.
And we have a very special guest in the building today.
Special.
Introduce yourself to the people. Tell them where they can find you.
My name is Sebastian Kole, and you can find me everywhere at Sebastian Kole. That's Kole with a K, K-O-L-E.
Yeah.
Professional.
Had to be all extra and put the K. I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I like it. Give it a little razzle dazzle.
I know, right? Sparkling.
Little smoke.
Starting things off, we're going to jump right into our discussions. And Ashley, I think you have discussions today.
Take a little leap. Because
You know?
I'm just going to sound weird. I watch you.
Okay.
It's going to sound weird. Whatever.
That's dope.
Whatever. So, your lives, right?
Yeah.
Very, very popular. When you do it, people just tune in. So, your recent one.
Okay.
And I kind of wanted to go into that a little more because I was like, wow. Because I saw the question you asked, men taking the lead.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
And, you had to ask people. Everybody had their own definition. People were trying to find what leadership was and is and this, that, and the third. So, I mean, we can probably go over it too. But what you gathered from that, I want to kind of take it from there and just talk about it and how you really feel about that and what is leadership, what is a man leading.
Okay, if that's okay.
Let's
all right.
Let's jump in.
I hop right on into it. All right. Woo.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. You want me to start? Just jump into that.
You can jump, leap.
All right.
Go ahead.
Well,
Go
okay.
swimming.
I got
So
this
first,
thing.
first, let me just ask you. So you believe in a man leading in a relationship?
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
That was the point
That
of his
was my
life.
point.
That was the point of his life.
That was my point. I feel like that, like, we live in a culture of like sayings and idioms and, quips and quotes. That a lot of it, we just be saying shit. We just, and if you ask somebody, okay, what does that look like? They can't tell you what it looks like. It's just, you supposed to do that. Well, what does that mean? Like how am I supposed to take the lead? Take the lead in what? Are you saying take out the trash? Are you saying, like, what do you need me to lead you to do? Like, what am I don't know. And that's why I kept asking, because I see people, men and women, make that statement, right?
Yeah.
As if by chance that I happen to be born with an X and a Y chromosome, I somehow, I don't know what the fuck that means. So just, let's start. Let me ask you, you know what I'm saying? Like, what does that mean?
Okay, I might give you the same like generic answer or whatever you probably already followed or something. I mean, to me, taking the lead is just taking the initiative. That's what I kind of think of. Not even just a relationship, like a job, anything like that. I feel like you're jumping to do something without being asked. So I just feel like that's part of that. It depends on the relationship, depending on what level you are in the relationship. But it's basically just doing something without being told. It could be, if I don't know what to do as a woman, he knows what to do and he just steps up and does it without, it could be regarding finances, housing situation, something random happening, children. So, I mean, that's what I think of, just a man kind of just taking the initiative and doing something without being told to do it. That's kind of what I think of.
Okay.
Just off back.
I think for me, when I think of a man leading in a relationship, I more so only think of it in like moments of conflict and stuff. Like, because in a relationship, in a healthy relationship, both of y'all should be able to just live out every day,
right?
Just knowing what to do. Like, there should be
that's
no
my
one,
point. Like,
there
that's
should be
what I'm
no
getting
one person leading the other
Yeah.
in just everyday life. But when it comes to like conflicts or we having problems or other stuff like that, like your man should be able to be like, all right, babe, we've been doing a lot of this lately. We need to go and do this. Or like, if we're struggling financially, okay, babe, we finna do this, that, so we can get out of this
Have a
hole.
plan.
You know,
Yeah.
like, to me, that's what I think of when I think of leading in a relationship.
Yeah.
But, for the most part, every day, y'all both need to know how to go
How to
about
do
your
about your
everyday
daily-
life.
Yeah.
Like,
You should have basic, like,
Yeah.
you do yourself. You should be
Yeah.
able to,
and like anything, it's like stuff around the house that needs to be done. Like you should just know to do
You
it.
should
And you
do
should
it.
just go do it.
I shouldn't
you know?
have to teach that
Yeah.
part. Like,
Right.
you should have basic functions and stuff like that. But other than that,
But yeah, to me, so that's what it looks like to me.
I feel like for the most part, like I can see where you guys are going with that. But first and foremost, some people are just better skilled at conversations than others, right?
True.
Just because I know some very hot-headed men doesn't make them any less of men.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, their hot-headedness might be their most manly trait, depending on situation, right? They might not be the person that says, "Okay, babe, let's bring this down." That doesn't make them any less of men. A woman could totally say, "Babe, we're going too far with this." Just because I was born with a dick, don't mean I'm the most sensible one, right? Like, so when I hear the phrase "a man should take the lead," I mean, there are lots of ways that if you and I are hanging out, you might be able to lead me in something. If it comes to finances per se, like, I hope I'm dating women with jobs, right? And women who know how to balance checkbooks. Like my job I don't even want to say, my position as a man in a relationship is, I'm not here to teach you home economics. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't want to teach you home economics, you know? And you're not here to teach me to take out the trash. Like, like human beings at some point, we should be pretty self-sufficient, right? You don't need my leadership. This girl told me something about, like, she wanted a man to lead her spiritually. And I was like, to heaven, bitch. Like,
Wait.
where are you going? Like,
Okay.
what do you mean? Like, do you need to read a book? Like, what are you expecting me to do? Like, I don't know, do a seance for you or something? Like, whatever that road or path is, you are your own leader. You know?
That's true.
I find this so crazy in the internet makes everything better and worse at the same time. I don't know how it does it, but it made this whole war shit that's coming up the most hilarious shit I've seen in forever.
Yes.
Okay.
That was sturdy.
Yeah, I thought he was coming in to really do something. He just wanted
For
to
the people who are just listening, that was sturdy.
That was sturdy.
And it was an awkward tweet.
Yeah, I know,
in the
right?
room, trying to be all subtle.
But like, it exacerbates all kinds of shit. So, but the reason that happens is because we just talk in these little 140 characters, so you don't really get a chance. That's why I like to go live, because thoughts evolve,
Yeah,
so but in our culture, we used to just throwing stuff out there. We just like, okay, man should take the lead. We don't know what that means. We don't know what that looks like. So if you have a requirement that has no logistics, you're never going to be happy, right? Because you don't even know when the man what the man was taking the lead on. When did he do it? How does that work? Right? You'll never know to be happy. And a man will never feel satisfied in his position because he doesn't know what he's doing. Right? What is he taking the lead on? If he oversteps said leadership boundaries, now he's controlling, or he's manipulative, or he's toxic, right? So I think that we just got to stop saying random shit like that. Like, that's just not how real life works. In real life, two people, they come together, they make some decisions together. Every man that I know has really come to women for at least one decision for her to make, and that is, babe, what we're gonna eat. Right?
I was listening.
Right,
I was like,
I just want to know what we're gonna eat, like, and that kind of leadership, and that's not even really necessarily leadership. The reason that men always ask what to eat, in my case at least, is because I will be happy eating anywhere. Right? It doesn't matter to me where we eat. I'm going to eat something on this menu. It's probably more important to her where she eats. Right? She's going to be very specific about, I want this and this and this, and if it ain't right, she's gonna send it back. Right?
Period.
Right. I'm not that. I do not do that. Right? If it ain't right, I'm just like, I've had better. I can get some. It's not a big deal to me. Right? But because it's not a big deal to me, right, I will submit to whatever your quote unquote leadership may be in that role. But that's not even really leadership. That's just an opinion that I had no problem with. Right? I think once we try to build it up like it's some kind of hierarchy.
that's the thing.
Right? Like, I'm not in a hierarchy. I'm in a partnership. At least I hope. Right? I'm not trying to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to do that. And I'm not trying to, like, ditch responsibility by saying that. because bills still got to get paid, stuff. But that doesn't make me a leader. You know what I'm saying? And then on the reverse side of that is there are people who put everything on a man, not just like those things that you were saying, like, which he's supposed to pay all the bills. Who are you talking to? Like, me? Like, no, I'm not. Like, that's just not what I'm here for. But I'm not a stingy person at all. I believe in giving, and like, God's been really good to me as far as finances are concerned, and I am really nice. But I didn't sign up for a bill. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, who just wakes up in the morning and goes, you know what I want to do? Pay all your bills. Why?
Wow.
So my next question for you, which I feel like I already know what your answer is going to be from the way you said it. Do you believe in gender roles in a relationship?
Good question.
And if so, what's your idea for each gender?
Oh. Okay.
No, I don't. To a certain degree, right? Okay. I hate to be too liberal when I say that, but no, I don't. And the reason being is because a gender is basically just an idea that all women should do this, and all men should do this. Like, women should cook, but what if I'm a better cook than you, right? Or men should take out the trash, but what if she's really OCD about the trash, right? I believe that your role in a relationship is based on your talent, right? Based on your gifts and capabilities. For example, in my last relationship, I really did pay all the bills, right? But that's because my girl at the time was in school, right? And I was living in California. She was living here. So I paid all bills in my house and in hers.
House?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But that was because that was the situation we were in. I had the resources to do it. She was doing a thing. You get what I'm saying? That wasn't something I was signing up to do for the rest of my life.
Right.
Right? I was really the reason I was trying to help her get through school was so she could make some money and do what she wanted. Okay. But she did all the cooking in that relationship. Right? If I was in town, she was going to do all the cooking. Right? So we had but she's an amazing cook. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking amazing. So why would you put me in the kitchen? You know what I'm saying? That's not necessarily a gender role so much as it is just a human role, right? I once dated a girl who, God bless her. We dated, and she was a really outgoing, like, party type. She liked to go out. I'm not really that type. Not anymore. I'm getting older. So she would go out whenever. I don't care. Go out, have a good time. One night she was out. One of her girls like, your man be letting you go out all the time? He must be cheating on you or something, right? So then she stopped going out. And I was like, babe, leave the house. Because you are not happy being stuck at home. It just wasn't in her personality. Yeah. So she would come home, and she wasn't very domestic in that regard. So she was attempting to start cooking, burning shit up. But get out the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let me do this. Like, I'm better at this than you. Let me do that, right? Neither one of us were great cooks, but I wasn't going to burn the shit, right? So it to me, gender roles are, you know what I'm saying? Just do what you're good at.
So play your position.
Yeah.
Okay. Hashtag play your position.
Very interesting.
And gender roles.
Ashley, gender roles, you?
Do I believe in gender roles? I don't believe in them, but sometimes I just follow suit because I've learned to cook and stuff. So I feel like it's like not tradition, but it kind of falls into this, like he said, hierarchy of women doing this because your mama used to do it and your grandma used to do it. So sometimes I catch myself being a gender role, but I try to do more things. Like, I feel like I do anything. I can say anything a man could do, but I can cook. I know how to mow a lawn. I know how to. I really can't really change a tire yet, but I mean, you know.
What AAA for?
I know, right? That's another thing I was going to say. Like,
somebody said it. I don't feel as bad anymore.
AAA is out there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
use your resources.
That's
AAA is there.
That's the point. That's no reason for that. But yeah. I mean, I like I said, I sometimes will follow suit, but I mean, I feel like nowadays women are evolving to do what they need to do to survive and have their own households individually. And it's good to be able to cook, be able to clean, be able to take care of yours, and also but have a partnership.
I pay somebody to do all that for me.
Okay.
I was really thinking some of the stuff you named.
No,
I'm not mowing no lawn.
I've learned. I don't like
I'm
it.
paying somebody.
The
little neighborhood boy gonna do it for $10.
$10. He needed $10.
I
need my grass cut.
I've learned. I'm just saying I learned.
Yeah. No, I mean it's cool to be able to do that, but again, I don't know if that's necessarily.
I don't want to.
Okay. One more thing. All right. So culture evolves all the time. And this is probably like my biggest spiel of life, period. Culture evolves, and it's supposed to, right? You know, we do all this talk about how bad life is right now, blah, blah, blah. But technically, life is better now than it's ever been. We actually have less crime now than we've ever had in the last 100 years. People don't know that because we get more access to the information. But
media.
as culture evolves, like, roles evolve. There was a real reason to have a stay-at-home mom who cooked and cleaned and the like at one point in history, right? That was really a necessity to keep the family going. You know, the men were working in coal mines and blah, blah, blah all day, and the women, they stayed home and tended to the things of the house. Okay, that's fair. But that's not something that's even necessary for me now. First and foremost, I do not work in a coal mine. Right, so when I'm not down there coming home with the black lung and shit. Like, we have pretty clean jobs now, right? Most of us aren't doing a huge amount of manual labor.
No.
So you come home, it's a different thing. It's a different kind of situation, and we keep trying to magically create the 50s or some shit. Like, bro, it's 2020, and it's 2020 for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, we wouldn't want to go back to the 50s when it came to communication. Like, you wouldn't want me to go, okay, I don't have a cell phone, I don't have email, you just see me when I'm home. You would hate that. But for some reason, we want to go back to the 50s and these gender roles and fuck all that. We're in a much more fluid society. We're in a much more fluid, we're just in a much more fluid society.
Yeah.
And for good reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't have to change the tire. They really do have AAA for that. Not that I couldn't change the tire.
Yeah.
I can change the tire. But I'm not going to be on the side of the This is a really expensive outfit. I'm not going to get this dirty.
Well, that too. When I grow up. That too. That part.
I can't change the tire. I'm not going to play.
Yeah.
I can't. I've seen it happen before, and I'm pretty sure
I'm
like
blown
the
out
taking
a
off of the bolts would be my biggest thing. Like, cause mine it'd be tight.
Yeah.
So I ain't finna try. I'm gonna just wait on AAA, or I'm gonna get somebody else to do it. Like,
a good old phone
that's
call.
literally happened to me at one point. I had to get a stranger to do it a couple times, and then this is how we're gonna work that. But for me, just to answer the question, I don't really believe in gender roles, like for real, for the most part. Like, for me, like, I'm like a really clean person, so I'm gonna do all the cleaning just because even if you clean, you're probably not gonna do it the way I want you to do it. So I'm gonna just do it anyways because I'm not even finna get upset because you have mopped the kitchen floor. I'm gonna just get in there, mop the kitchen floor, and I'm gonna take away all the like problems.
Yeah,
okay,
no argument.
Yeah, but. I will say that I don't necessarily believe in a man needing to pay all the bills, but if we are in a situation where we're going even, then everything in this house gonna have to be even too. Like, I'm not gonna pay the even amount of bills and then come home and clean the entire house and cook every night and do all of that.
Yeah,
like, that's just a lot on one person. So we gotta balance it some kind of way.
Yeah, definitely balance in relationships because a lot of people don't believe in that anymore.
Oh no, we gotta balance because you ain't gonna break my back for you.
I'm not either.
I
disagree. I'm not about to do all that.
I do not blame you. I don't blame you.
But since we're on the topic of like dating and everything like that in relationships, another question that we were talking about was like basically dating with baggage. Like, how do you date someone with baggage? And if you do have baggage, how do you like handle that? Because like I know there was a video of Rod Wave going around where he was talking about how it's going to be so hard for the next woman because he has so much baggage and he going to put her through so much because he has to be able to really trust her, basically. Right. So how do we just feel about this wave of damaged people trying to date people but then put the next person through so much?
Yeah.
Hire a fucking therapist.
All right.
Right? Let's just start there.
Yeah.
Right? A very similar thing. I read a girl. She tweeted like, my next relationship is gonna be he gonna have to really work hard, blah 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 blah, because I'm damaged. And the guy said, "Go see a therapist. Stay single." And she was like, "And this is why men are trash." But
reason
that's not supposed to be for real,
right? But I'm like, when it comes to first and foremost, let's just deal with baggage. Start there.
Okay.
Baggage is what you took from point A to point B. Right? Okay. Baggage is your choice. You could have took something else. Okay? In a bad situation. Like they say, when you play sports and stuff, they always say, you got to overcome the negatives, or, even if we lose, we're learning. This is true. Right? If you were in a bad situation and what you took from the bad situation was the bad, I can't fix that for you. Right? Jesus can't fix that for you. because you took it. It's yours. Put that shit down. Right? Just put it down. Right? Now am I saying it didn't happen? No. Bad things happen to everybody. Right? Every one of us has some horror stories we could tell, some relationship horror stories we could tell. But again, it's what did I take from it? Right? I could give you all kinds of stuff. Oh man, I was dating this girl and she did this to me and that's why I don't trust women. And okay, I could. Or I could say that was a learning experience. Right? I learned from that I should do this. Mm-hmm. Right? Like sweetheart just said, she was talking about mopping the floor. Instead of creating a new problem, you're not gonna do it. I already know how this is gonna work. Let me eliminate a problem. Myself. Right. I'll eliminate that problem so I don't have to take from that. This nigga can't mop the floor. Because that's one way to take it. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Oh, he ain't clean. He don't know how to mop the floor. Da, 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 da. Now I'm carrying this baggage about him not being clean, not being able to mop the floor. Instead of just saying, this is the issue, let me fix it. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So it's impossible to really, you're asking a boyfriend or girlfriend number 6, I don't know how many relationships I've been in, but boyfriend, girlfriend number 6, to fix compounded issues from the previous 5. How fucking good am I? Like, who do you think I am? Right? I got it yesterday too. I got things that I'm still trying to learn from too. Right? So trying to bring those issues over to this new person and expecting them to heal, again, this just shit we saying. Because how am I trying to say this? Pause, jump track real quick. I was talking to a guy the other day. He was telling me about, I talk a lot about religion. And so he was like, bro, I hear what you're saying and all, man, but I used to be on drugs, man. I was living a real wild life and I found Jesus and it helped me turn my life around. You know what I'm saying? I got off the drugs and I started being a better parent to my went and got a job, blah, blah, blah. And, Jesus did that for me. And I was like, wait. So you didn't get off drugs? He was like, yeah, I just said I got off drugs. I was like, and you didn't become a better father? I just told you I became a better father. And you didn't go get a job? Yeah, I went and got a job. So you did that with the iconography of Jesus. You did that though. Right? I'm not saying that that wasn't a help, but you did that. In other words, the drug habit was yours. Put that shit down. Right? The baggage is yours. Put it down. No one here can take it from you. It's it lives in your head. Right? It lives in your heart. Put it down. Right? And quit trying to torture your next ex. Because all you're going to do is fuck up the next one. You know what I'm saying? Whew. Yeah.
Ashley got a word for that? You look like you had a word.
I mean, I just felt it. I felt his word.
Okay.
Because, I've learned. But, I agree with that. Like, something like, definitely go to therapy for your issues in general. Like, not just, like, before your relationship. Like, general. Like, I'm all for therapy. Yes, if you need therapy, go get it. There's so many different resources. I don't know one that I need to, like, just link them all to our Unfiltered post. It's a lot. Like, one of my good friends just recently said she's just got a therapist. Like, she's going tomorrow. So definitely get a therapist. But unpack things before you get into something else. Period. Like, definitely don't just go for something with so much baggage because it's gonna. Literally, it's gonna be heavy and you're gonna be weighed down and you're gonna expect the next person to fuck up. And you're going to have all these expectations and you're going to be all like, well, what you said about the mopping thing. You're going to be pessimistic. You're going to be negative. You're not going to go into anything positive, and he could be a blessing for you and to you, but you're going into it with past hurt. So you definitely, like you said, drop it, unpack it, unload it, do whatever you need to do that, and you'll be okay. Like, you can't just go into anything and have all that past issues, unresolved stuff too. Like, when things are unresolved and you're just carrying it, it's going to still weigh you down. You got to resolve it. So that's me.
Yeah, I definitely think that, only you can fix you. Like, people always try to feel like, oh, like, when I get into this relationship, I'm going to be better. When I get this job, I'm going to be better. Only you have the power to fix you. Like, you can have people that may show you the right way and other stuff like that, but it has to come from within. Mm-hmm. So if you're not even willing to work on what's messed you up, why are you even thinking about another relationship?
Right.
No, you just adding more stuff on.
That's the paradigm. Like, because we think of relationships as looking for someone to complete me, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm looking for my better half, or these are things that we say. But so I'm really looking for somebody to dump this on. right? I'm looking like I don't like to clean, so I'm gonna go get a girlfriend. Or I don't like to cook, I'm gonna go get somebody to cook for me. Or it's too expensive for me to eat out all the time. Or it's tax season, so you know it's about to be some relationships being made.
Bye.
You know what I'm saying? I need a place to stay, so I'm gonna go get a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
so,
my God.
But that's not what this is. You know what I'm saying? And I think that I really believe that this is a beautiful time to be alive and black and young and finding love, because we don't have the weights that we used to have. Like there was a time when, again, you know, you got two people dealing with third, fourth grade educations trying to make a living, and you know, they not hiring black women and they only hiring black men to do such and such, or they only hiring black women to scrub floors. Our reach, our scope of reach is way wider than that now. It's, you know what I'm saying? So we don't have that need for each other anymore. And that's great to me. Like, I don't need you to pay a bill for me. You don't need me to pay a bill for you. Now we're really getting a chance to do what love does, which is choose, right? And nobody wants to choose your bullshit. I'm not here to choose your bullshit. I'm not with it. Like, I'm just not. Go get yourself some help and then let's be happy together. You know what I'm saying? Like and I'm not saying that comes with no disagreements, but happy people know how to disagree. Happy people can totally disagree. Right? And not argue. That's not a fight. It's just a disagreement.
Gosh, yes.
Right? Unhappy people have to argue. They have to fight. They have to get petty and be vengeful. Happy people just go, okay. And really, for the most part, unless you are literally living together or like paying all your bills out of one account, it's very little for you to really argue about. Very little. Right? Again, we just talk about what we're going to eat, when I'm going to see you again. Shit, what else we arguing about? What we got? Like, it's not.
I need to work on myself a little bit, because I like how you said that. I feel like I argue. I argue about it a little too
Ashley
much.
is the
Sebastian gotta talk to me.
Yeah, like just like what do you argue about? I really want to know. Like,
you don't want to know what I argue about.
Everything.
No, I really do want to know. Like, deadass, what's the last time you argued about? What's the last thing you argued about?
It just depends. Like, sometimes I feel like you're not understanding me. I feel like sometimes I'm overly expressive and I'm overly emotional sometimes. So it comes out a little harsh.
Okay.
I don't mean to be harsh, but when I feel like you're not understanding me, I feel like you're trying to like belittle my feelings.
Okay.
And maybe that's just once again.
Take me to the last argument. Just take me to like, no, please.
Listen.
Unfiltered, right?
Unfiltered. We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Just the last time you guys argue, because I really want to know. Like, I understand being misunderstood. I understand this, but what were you misunderstood about?
It's been a couple different situations.
Be real, Ashley.
I can't.
You can't. You choose not to.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just say generally, it's just a communication thing. Like sometimes when I feel like somebody isn't putting in as much effort as I am to either, and this has been a thing for me for like relationships period. Like I feel like you're not putting in effort into something. I start picking up on it. Do I need to fall back? So it causes me to act out.
But okay, show me effort. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? What's this effort?
Here you
like,
go. We're not on live right now.
No, I'm just asking. Like, what do you mean by effort?
Okay, effort. Just I feel like if I'm texting you the most, I feel like I'm showing like effort.
Okay.
Because I want to know what's going on with you. I have a habit. I don't know if it's just because of my major, college, whatever. I'll send paragraph. I'm like, oh, what's going on in this? How's this happening? I'm asking because I want to know.
You want to engage in the conversation.
I want to engage.
Okay.
Some people don't believe it.
I'm some people, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, some people don't believe it. Like, they'll just be like, oh, it's going good. It's cool. And meanwhile, I'm sending these paragraphs of, well, you know, my day was fine. Like, and it kind of irks me. And it's like, I know we're adults. Like, I'm 24. Like, we all got lives. We got things going on. We work, whatever. But I cannot stand when I feel like I'm putting too much into something, period. Like, with jobs, anything I'm doing. If I'm putting too much into something and then I feel like the other person or persons are not doing the same.
Reciprocal, okay. Then that irks you. And then you want to argue about it.
I want to argue, but sometimes it comes out very passive aggressively.
Okay.
And sometimes, you know, it starts an argument. Like, I'll be petty, like if I don't receive a Christmas gift or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Do you communicate your problem, or do you just jump to the petty in the argument?
Look like you hop right to the petty in the argument. That's what.
No.
It's a problem.
I don't.
Whenever you got to clear your throat mid-sentence like
No,
that.
I'm thinking of my answer. Sometimes
I already know the answer.
it's been recent arguments. I've noticed my problem
Okay.
with stuff. I notice sometimes I don't communicate what I expect.
Okay.
And then it becomes an argument because it's not. Nope, they don't know.
Right.
Like in general, like friends, whatever. I do have high expectations on how I should be treated. I feel like it's okay to have.
Okay.
But I feel like I'm just internalizing. I'm just thinking of how I should be treated. I'm not communicating on what I expect. I'm just kind of like, he should do this or whatever, or they should do this or that. I should be taken here and this and that. I'm not really voicing it, you know. So I can say my issues too. I'm not that, delusional.
One thing I've learned is that expectations will hurt your feelings.
They surely will.
More times than like not. Like, because we create these expectations of our friends, of our significant others, of who they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to do. And then we get mad when they don't live up to the expectations we didn't even tell them that we had.
This is true.
So it's like, for me, that's something I've had to just learn in life in general.
And I'm learning it.
Like, even with like family, like I expect you to be this because you're my family, and I have to realize you don't have to be that.
You don't have
me.
to. You're obligated not to.
Me getting hurt by your actions. I'm like, I put those expectations on you.
I want us to turn these expectations into wants. This has helped me so much. And I'm not saying I got it all together. That makes so much sense.
I don't like him.
But let's turn these expectations into wants. Because the thing about a want is it's really easy for me to tell you what I want.
Yeah.
Right? I'm hungry. I want to go get something to eat. I want to talk to you. I want to see what you're doing. I can, and I feel almost better when I tell you what I want. Right? I can communicate, hey, I want this. Right? And you can go, oh yeah, I can do that. Or I can't do that right now because I got da-da-da-da. And it's a want. This is an easy conversation to have. This is just what I want. An expectation is unspoken 99% of the time, right? Yeah. It is just something that I have that I'm not going to even tell you. I'm going to basically wait till you fail at it.
Exactly.
And then go, I expected you to do that. So people have different communication styles. This is why I say, like, I can't even... In my life, I've had 4 arguments with women in my entire life. I remember them very well. And they're normally, at that argument, I normally say, okay, I can't do this. Right? I don't do this. And we've been together for years. I don't do this. I don't want to ever be if I'm arguing with you, you are my adversary. Right? You are not I argue with strangers. There's no reason on the planet. I will live and die by this. There is no reason on the planet for me to ever treat you any worse than a stranger. When I meet a stranger on the street, I am kind to that stranger, right? If they need something from me, if I can help them, I help them, right? And there is no reason for me to take the person I love and talk to them like an enemy. That's crazy to me. And especially to expect me to come back. You are out your mind, right? But once I turn things into wants, it makes it way easier for me to communicate these things. I don't have to feel so petty. An adult understands the word no. Right? So if I want something from you and you just go, oh, I can't do that. I totally understand it. Right? I get that. If I expect something from you and I don't even communicate it and then you let me down in my expectation, that hurts me so bad. Now I'm mad. She don't care about me.
Feelings hurt.
Now my feelings hurt.
Reason.
I'm typing sad ass topics. Statuses on everything.
You seen them?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah. He's seen mine.
But I don't want to do that. I want to be in a place where we can just communicate once, and that's easy.
I am learning from this man.
So is that how you avoid arguing? Since you say you don't do a lot of arguing, just put it all out there on the table.
I don't. First and foremost, I believe about myself that I don't really want a lot. I don't. I'm very, very low maintenance when it comes to relationships. I don't really like. I just want to lay up and fuck. Really, I mean,
I thought you gonna say cuddle. I was like,
nah, we gonna cuddle a bit. You know what I'm saying? That's the layup part. That's the layup part.
A bit.
You know what I'm saying? That's the layup part. No, that's what I mean when I say layup.
Okay. And then fuck.
And then do some fucking. You know what I'm saying? And I want to talk. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about whatever's. I talk a lot. So talk about what's on your day. Talk about what I'm thinking. I do a lot of businesses. I'm running a whole bunch of business. So I like to talk about that. That's again, we have nothing to argue about. Right? Damn. And once my last relationship, I'm gonna tell you this. Oh God, if you're listening, darling.
Okay. What's her name?
I won't even tell you.
Oh, okay.
We won't say no names.
Yeah, I won't say no names. But anyway, she had a friend who was dating this football player and her friend was going to Bali, right? And so she wanted to go, and so I was like, okay. So I got her a trip to Bali. First class, you fly with her. Y'all go stay wherever y'all staying. It was a 6-day trip.
About to cry.
And so I'm like, yeah, go, enjoy yourself. Okay, so she goes. Keep this in mind. Now, it's not about the trip per se. I'm going to show you why I don't like arguing. She goes on a trip. While she's on the trip, she follows me on Twitter. I know my girlfriend follows me on Twitter. I've had the Twitter and the girlfriend for quite some time now. Okay, not a surprise. Okay, so this guy that I don't know, this just gets retweeted on my timeline, makes a statement that says, the woman I want versus the woman I need. And it's a picture of Amber Rose under the woman he wants. She's like all all sexy with like a bikini and her tongue out. The woman the woman I need, she's more conservatively dressed, still a very nice looking woman, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I hate when niggas play this game. The reason that I hate that is because these two women don't want you no goddamn way. Okay, let me just start right there. Right. Okay. And I get what you're doing, but I just hate that. It gets on my nerves. Mm-hmm. Show me the picture of your baby mama and the one you cheated on her with. You get what I'm saying? Like, be more realistic so we can see what you really want and need. Because Amber Rose and this other lady is way out your fucking league. Okay. They just out your league. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? So I retweet the picture and say, two women that don't care about me anyway. Because that was my point. Right. My girl sees the tweet. Right. And you know you're in trouble when your girlfriend DMs you. She does not call you. She does not text you.
Did she send you the tweet?
Yeah, retweeted it, sent me the tweet of my tweet in my DMs. I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble. I don't know what the fuck I done did wrong. But I'm thinking maybe she's going to laugh about it or something, blah, blah, blah. She was like, now picture, I do know Amber Rose, right? Mm-hmm. In passing, but I know her. Oh, so you want Amber Rose? I'm thinking that she playing. I'm really thinking she playing. I'm like, ha, 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 ha. LOL.
You think it's a joke?
I'm thinking this is a joke because I know she knows that this is a joke. I know my girlfriend follows me on Twitter. I would not be announcing to her on Twitter, I want another bitch. Like, that's just crazy. That don't make sense. So I'm thinking this is a whole joke. Eventually, she gets really mad with me and calls me livid. Babe, you are on a beach in Bali. Right? First class.
Hello.
Right? You are on a beach in Bali right now. Mm-mm. Your mind, you should be a happy person. And only an unhappy person turns that into an argument. Now, if you wanted to say to me, if you didn't understand what I was saying and you just wanted, again, we will have wants. I want to know what you mean when you say that. I can explain what I mean. Right? That did not have to be an argument. I could just explain to you what I mean. Right? I can give you the whole backstory as to why I said that. That whole thing I just told you, I could just, right?
So how did that end?
We broke up.
Over that?
Yes.
He doesn't argue.
I don't argue. Right?
He doesn't argue.
I don't
One
do
thing
that.
I've learned.
And she, like, for the next year, she was like, oh, I'm sorry, but no. Because you don't value, the thing about stuff like that is that people don't really value you if they will try to break up your peace. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like people try to break up. Men do it, women do it. They like to rattle you. They like to get you don't value me. You value your control over me. You value your access to me. And no. I'm really important. And I believe you are too. Right? But I'm really, really important. You have to value your presence. Like, for you to be in my space, babe, I got a trillion other things I could be doing. And so do you. So when we share space, that's a valued space. I'm not going to give you that space to be an enemy close to me. I got enemies out there. Wow. I got people who don't like me out there. I'm not going to bring somebody close to me so they can nitpick at me about a damn tweet. That's what Pop Crave is for. You know what I'm saying? I've tweeted things that have been on MTV. They nitpick tweets. I'm not finna lay next to somebody that do that. No, we get a chance to know each other. You know what I'm saying? Social media going to do what social media do. We know each other. There's a benefit of knowing me, right? There's a benefit in knowing you, right? And if we're going to be close, then we got to value that benefit and all that other, and I'm going to shut up. But, we tend to like, oh, well, that's just how I am. No, it's not. You're not that way. You're doing it as a defense mechanism. Because you don't want to be who you really are. Right? Because who you really are.
She's just going,
man, you don't want to be, because who you really are is a person that's scared. You know what I'm saying? You scared. You're scared to be intimate with a person. You're scared to really get to know a person for who they are. You're scared that they're going to figure out who you really are. You're scared that you're going to get run over. You're scared that you're going to be considered some pushover, that somebody's going to do you wrong. I get that. Slow walk into these relationships. First and foremost, don't be in such a hurry to get into them. Get to know a person. Literally get to know a person.
True.
Right?
That's true.
Like folk they want to go out a couple times, fuck one time, then now they go together. Bullshit. Really get to know a person. Right? So that you know, like you get the rhythms. You know, okay, that's how she talks. Right? Or I've seen, oh God, Chick-fil-A drive-thru, mean girl. Get the meal. Thank you, sweetheart. Pull off. Why you call her sweet? Babe, I call everybody sweetheart. I am not finna argue with you.
What?
I'm not finna do this. Like, I'm not finna do this. I don't argue, and I'm not finna defend my calling. I'm from Alabama. We call everybody sweetheart around here. Baby, sweetheart, honey. You know, it's just a part of what we do. I'm not finna argue that with you. Stop being insecure. And it's not my job. It's not your job to fix a grown man's insecurities. And it's not your job to be prisoner to those insecurities. And I for damn sure won't. Insecurities are normally what arguments are about. Normally. Now, if a person does you something totally dirt, if they really doing you something dirt, then, again, they don't need to be in your space. You did something dirty to me. You don't like me. You trying to hurt me. That's different. But your insecurities that you just need to get over, babe, I ain't got time.
This is deep.
My chest hurts. My chest hurts a little bit.
So
you'll be okay. You'll be okay.
It hurts a little bit right here.
For those of y'all just listening, that's CJ who randomly snuck into the studio.
I know, right?
Yeah, I snuck in for a second. I had to come in and check on my little sisters.
Yeah,
Shouts out to my big bro, Sebastian in the building.
Therapy
Yes.
session that was kind of needed. I feel it.
I was going to say, Ashley been over here going through
Because it's just
the whole
like,
time.
listen, because I had to reflect. That's one thing about me. I'll reflect and I'll fix. So
you going to fix after
That's
this?
beautiful.
Okay.
Are you a
girl.
Virgo? Are you a Virgo?
I'm a Pisces.
Oh, okay.
Wait a second. Hold on.
You
Wait,
know
which one?
signs?
No, a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because she be all into it all the time.
Like, tell me, did you assume I was a Pisces or Virgo?
Virgo. The reflect and fix thing is a very Virgo trait.
Okay.
What are you?
I'm a Capricorn. My
And what
birthday's
is-
actually in 17th.
What does that mean?
That just means I'm slow and old.
No. Very, very detail oriented, I get.
Okay.
Very,
Hardworking
very
and detail
precise.
oriented.
I said I'm going to look into it one of these days. It has not happened yet, but
I'm just emotional, but that's the problem. Like, I just, sometimes talk out my emotions. I don't mean what I say.
Talk them out. I think that's healthy, though. Talking them out.
It is, but I don't, like I said, sometimes it come out wrong. I'm working, Sebastian, listen, I'm working on myself. This has helped me a lot. Like, from the last time you saw me to now, I'm about to be a different person tomorrow.
a different person.
In like
tomorrow.
4 days.
Nah, growing is important, though.
Yes.
And especially when it comes to these damn relationships. I feel like we talk about relationships so much. Like, oh my God, we get it. You're lonely. Like, we get it, baby. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have to be this lonely. You ever been to like a football game or basketball game? It's a nigga going, tickets for sale. And there's another nigga walking around going, I need 2 tickets. And they never meet up. Right?
What? That's not funny, but it's like.
But that's because they're scalping
that's
together.
right, yeah.
Right? They're scalping together. The reason that dude is asking for tickets, so it's last minute, he going to buy them from you for super cheap and give them to his homeboy who going to sell them for super high. Right? So they're in cahoots. So they never bump into each other. We doing the same thing. We literally do it.
Damn.
We really are asking for something that we don't even think we don't even want. That we're scalping this shit. We're scalping it, and because we're scalping it, we keep having to advertise. Oh, I need a boo. Oh, I wish I had. No, you don't. Right? What you need is to deal with your insecurity. What you need to do is deal with your inner person. You know what I'm saying? So that when you get a boo, and who's dealt with their inner person, I'm not coming in asking you to fix my baggage. I'm not coming in asking you, you can help me with my resume. Nigga, you're an adult, right? Or you know what I'm saying? Like, I need a man to come take out my trash. Baby, your house smells like fish.
Exactly.
Get that trash
It may
out
not be
of
from
there.
the trash.
You know what I'm saying? But whatever it is, get it out of there.
What?
Something's trash in there. I don't want to say what's trash in there, but there's some trash in there somewhere. It's either in a trash can or it's a trash box.
Hello?
One of the two. One of the two.
All right.
Wow. So
Sorry,
we're going to go left like that.
I thought he was gonna say it, but I said it first. Learning.
Okay, because y'all out of pocket. We could go there, but we're not going to go there. We're
talking
going to
about
move on a little
hygiene.
bit
Hygiene in 2020.
to you and your different aspects of your life.
Yes,
Okay.
minty.
So, you're very well into music. So, I want to know, have you always wanted to do music? Like, I know, like, from a young age, it seems like you kind of had a talent for it. But was that what you wanted to do?
Every day, that's all I've ever wanted to do for a living was make music. And I had other jobs, but nah, music was it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when was that moment where you were like, okay, I'm going after this with everything in me?
I was 27 years old. I was working at Wells Fargo, and I was playing for a church. And I'm single, and I was making pretty decent money, but I felt like I just wasn't happy about it. And so I was like, I'm gonna really give myself 2 years. I'm gonna try. So I quit my job, and I was just working at the church and doing like door-to-door sales on the weekends. And I was gonna give myself 2 years to kind of figure it out. So by 29, lo and behold, 29 came, and it hadn't worked. And so I was like, but as I was getting ready to give up, this lady from here was like, hey, will you go on tour with us to France? We do this little tour. When our headline singer can't make it, so will you go in this place? And I'm like, word, it's music. I get paid. I'll try it. So I go on a tour, and it is horrible. And one of the worst experiences of my life. The last day of that tour, me and her fell out like super bad. I actually landed back in Atlanta. It was my birthday. I had officially turned 30, right? And so I was like, man, I'm 30. Like you can't. 30, that's it. My uncle came and picked me up from the airport in Atlanta, and as we're driving back to Birmingham, it starts raining. It's my birthday. I'm 30 years old. I haven't accomplished a goddamn thing. It's the worst tour ever. So I lean my head against the window, and I start crying. And I'm just like, man, what am I going to do? Like, I quit this job I was doing pretty good at, And right as we crossed the state line, my phone rang. A homeboy of mine named Mike. He was like, yo, you remember that song we wrote back in June? The little going in tune. I was like, yeah, I remember it. He was like, I got some bad news. I was like, well, don't matter what the news is. I quit making music today anyway. And he said, oh, okay, good. Because they were going to give that song to Sierra, but they decided not to. And I was like, oh, it's okay. I tried. He was like, but you sure you want to quit music? And I was like, yeah, I can't afford to do it. He's like, well, I got some good news. They didn't give it to Sierra because they gave it to J-Lo. And so that day I quit music and started back over at the same time. But that was the best and worst day of my life. And it took me, that's when I really realized, okay, I can do this. Mm-hmm. Now, so I took the little money that I made from that song. I moved to LA, and, I'm getting all these opportunities to like write and blah, blah. And I get this opportunity to write for Rihanna. And at the time, I did not want to write for Rihanna. I just didn't want to do it. Not because I didn't think I was talented enough to do it, or not because I don't love Rihanna. I love her. But because I just felt like Rihanna got so many writers. Like, I don't feel like competing with all of that. Like, I don't want to do it. So I was like, let's just make our own Rihanna. So my CEO was like, you know what? You're right. So we found Alessia. And I wrote that album. And then, boom. Yeah.
History.
Amazing. I literally love the album.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. So, also, if you could work with anybody, could be current or not here anymore, who would you want to work? Actually, give me both. Who would you want to work with that's still here? And then if there was anybody that, in the past that you wanted to work with that may not be with us here anymore, who would it be?
Man, there's so many people. Because everybody brings something so different to the table.
True.
Man, that's really hard to say. Getting the opportunity to work with artists like Face Up, you learn so much just from being around them that any of those experiences I would like to know. You know what I'm saying? Some of my favorite people that I have worked with, like I worked with Usher, and I don't know if I learned so much from him, like just being around him, like, yeah. I mean, I've worked with Alicia Keys. I've worked with tons of people, and just being around them, like that energy that you get from them is priceless. And so I couldn't say, oh, I don't want to work with such as I do. I want to work with whoever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm gonna learn something from it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you have like a best nugget of advice that you gained from an artist that you like still hold with you?
Mm-hmm. If you wrote your best song yesterday, quit.
Oh.
Okay.
Simple to the point.
Let's say I ain't see that one coming.
Yeah. If you wrote your best song yesterday, quit writing songs. Like, because a lot of times people, they'll write something or they'll record something and they go, this is it. Like, oh man. And then you give it to somebody and they don't get as excited as you get. You know what I'm saying? And you like, you take it personal because that's your thing. That's your baby. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't love it like you love it. And so, but it's like, it's just one song. Mm-hmm. And if that was your best, quit. Right? Just because they didn't like that, write something else. You can do better than that. Like you can do better than that. And don't take that as a negative either. Like, that's actually a positive. I could do better than this. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm on to something. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, if you wrote your best song yesterday, quit.
Dang.
Do you have any advice for people who want to be a songwriter, aspire to be that person that writes songs for different artists and stuff? What's a good advice besides that? What you just
That
said?
one, yeah, that
That's a
piece
good
is
point
really
of
important.
advice.
Yeah.
But like in general, like the steps.
All right, steps are relatively simple. Write all the time.
Okay.
Right. No such thing as writer's block. It doesn't exist. I know you thinking, oh, I can't think of what to say it anyway. Just say it. Just say it. It's not going to be your best song, but your worst songs help make your best songs. So just write them, and then learn from yourself. Listen to who you like. Figure out what they do that you like. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a reason that you like The Dream, right? It's something that he's doing. Pay attention to what he's doing. There's a reason that you like Taylor Swift or whoever you like. There's a reason that you like them. Find out what they're doing, and don't mimic it, but figure out what it is, right? Like I like Drake a lot, right? And I've always been like a Drake fan.
Even the new accent Drake?
Now, new accent Drake kind of whack, but old Drake I definitely like. But what I found in Drake that I like was how he paints his pictures. Like he's very descriptive, right? He'll tell you a little bitty piece of reality in a love song. So he'll go, your dad never said thank you for the presents I bought him. Like that is like, you're not thinking of it in the gist of the song, but it makes it feel very real. You know what I'm saying? And I try to take a little piece of that. You know what I'm saying? So mimic your idols. Write all the time. If you wrote your best song yesterday, quit. And as far as business-wise, don't shoot for Rihanna right now. Don't shoot for, if you got a plug and get to Rihanna, go for it. But people are like, oh, I want to get in the studio with such and such. Don't. Find your local person that you think can sing or rap or whatever it is that you want to help do, and write them a song, right? Put that song on YouTube and SoundCloud, and because what happens is the industry is very much looking out, not in, right? So the numbers start cooking up. Somebody see that, and they're gonna reach out to you and say, hey, I want you to come do this, right? Or I really like that song. Plus, you'll be made some publishing money in the meantime. Just work your hustle. If that's what you really want to do, work your hustle. And then eventually, if nothing else, you've got some TuneCore checks. You know what I'm saying? And once you see $1 from music, like once you actually make $1 in music, it's all the encouragement in the world. It's an addiction. Then it's like, I didn't even have to go to work today, and I made money.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And that goes for anything too. Like once you make some money, like creatively wise, like once you get paid for a little bit, it's like you be like, wait a minute,
Well, yeah.
hold up,
I didn't have to clock in.
Yeah.
I'm doing the dang old thing.
Yeah.
Vibes, and I'm fed up. But,
So I noticed with your music, there's some of it that's like on SoundCloud, that's like not on Apple Music, and then you have music everywhere as well. It's like is there a method behind that? Like, do you release stuff on SoundCloud on purpose?
Yeah. I don't even want to get into the whole story of it, but the SoundCloud leak was just that. It was a leak, and I leaked it on purpose, kind of as a political shot at some people at the record label.
Gotcha.
And I really didn't even promote it much. I just kind of put it out there. I just, y'all check it out.
A lot.
It got shared a lot.
I'm still seeing it.
It got shared a lot. And I appreciate everybody who listened to it. If you haven't listened to it, go to SoundCloud. Sebastian Kole. It's called the Numb Leak EP. And I really like it. But that was like that group of songs was like this transition in me as a writer, Again, I try to write about everything. There's a song in anything. So I was like just kind of picking apart different pieces of boy life and just telling about it, versus my first album, which was very love songy, very misty eyed. And I didn't want to do that on this one. I just kind of wanted to just tell the truth, or some pieces of truth about manhood, and how we really feel, because boys don't do that very often.
Do you have a certain mood where you feel like you write the best? Or like, some people say like, oh, when I'm down, that's when the best music comes.
The toilet? No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, follow-up question. So what are you doing on the toilet?
Okay.
No, I really write. The coolest thing about being a songwriter is like you don't really get to pick a mood. When you're writing for other people, you got a date and a time. You just got to be there. You just got to figure out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So you don't really get to bring your bad mood into the room or your good mood into the room.
Yeah.
You just got to bring your work hat. You know what I'm saying? And so some songs, some days you go into the room and the vibe is kind of down and you're trying to make the most of the time. You know what I'm saying? So you might write that sad song with them that day, or you might want to change their mood because they're so down. You like, okay, well, let's think something positive. You you just kind of go with the flow. One of the reasons that I don't like to pick a mood or blah 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 is because people get into the habit of trying to recreate that same thing all the time. Like I know people be like, man, I can't write unless I'm high. That's not true.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. I can't write unless I'm drunk. That's not true. Yes, you can. You don't want to develop a crutch and yeah. Next thing you know, you all zanned out somewhere and making crazy music that nobody likes, but you think that it's so dope because you're on dope.
That's not funny.
Hey, that's real.
It's real though, but it's funny.
That's a lot of stories for these people. Out here.
Yeah, man.
All
Put the
right.
Percocets down, people.
Put them down.
Down. Okay.
Jaw just jaw clicking out and looking crazy.
Do you have a favorite project to date, whether it be one of your projects or something you have right on?
Ooh. Oddly enough, nobody knows this guy, but this is really one of my favorite songs I've ever written. It's a song called "The World Is Mine." It's by an artist named Sam Henshaw. He's out of London, and it's out. You can check him out. It's Sam with 2 M's. That's one of my favorite things I've ever written. But wait till this year. It's not out yet, but there is a song.
Cooking.
Yeah. There is a song that I'm really, really excited about with the
Okay.
artist and the whole nine. If they ever release it, I'd be super happy. It's like one of my favorite things to write.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will be on the lookout for that.
Right.
Then.
Well, speaking of future things that are gonna happen, what's next? Like, I mean, I know we talked, and you have a couple of different businesses, things you do. What's next for Sebastian Kole?
In the city, I've been kind of linking up with a lot of really good people here. We're trying to do something like a creativity space kind of thing.
Oh my gosh, Birmingham needs that.
A content creation space. I've been linking with some really good people. We are moving forward on that. Places where people can do things like this podcast, and video stuff. One of those. And finally gonna get my restaurant reopened at some point this month, hopefully.
Hey.
That was one of the questions I got asked.
Yeah. Michael's will be back soon.
Michael's is coming back, people.
We'll start.
Said it.
Yeah, and I really am gonna put a pasta on the menu called Pasta Mike's.
I love pasta.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I have a small version of it called Pasta Mike Jr.
If you need somebody to taste some pasta,
we can come and we
hit
do a
my
live.
line.
All right,
I like to
bet.
think I'm a pasta connoisseur. Okay?
Yeah.
I love pasta.
We'll be back soon, so I'm
I
excited
love
about that. I got a bunch of little things that's going on like that, man. I just finished my first apartment rebuild, and I'm really just trying to get those 7 streams of income going. Yeah, how some people just hear a bunch of good advice and they never take it. I really try to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when somebody say, "Oh, you should think about it," I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try.
Good.
Yeah, because I want to be. I want to be all that I can. You know what I'm saying? And show people from I'm from Dolomite. You know what I'm saying? Like it's people in Birmingham don't even know what Dolomite is. So I'm from Dolomite, and so I want people to know that no matter where you're from, no matter whatever, you can do. It's a bunch of ways to get it. And I want to get it in most of them.
Okay. So with that, we're going to move on to the last segment, which is actually Ask Sebastian. So these are real questions from real people.
Okay.
So one of the first ones we got was, what can Black people do to grow Birmingham?
Do instead of ask that question.
There you go.
That's simply though, Birmingham could be Wakanda. Birmingham has the potential to be. We're 73% Black. Right, that's about as Black of a place as you're gonna find. Right, so what we have to start doing is the doing, and most of the time, what we do is I'm waiting on someone to do, right, and we forget the power of campaigns. Right, Bernie Sanders just raised umpteen bazillion dollars over the Q4 in donations. Right, that's a bunch of little people putting in $18. Right, if you want it, dollar up. Right, dollar up, put together some packs of people who want to do, and then do. You know what I'm saying? Just do. Instead of complaining, do it. You know what I'm saying?
Don't complain, do.
Yeah.
Listen, a lot of folks
That's a
just love to
campaign
sit
slogan
around
right
and
there.
complain.
Yeah.
Okay, next question, which I want to know who asked you this question, actually, but somebody wants to know, how can Beyonce top her Coachella performance?
I promise it. Somebody asked that. Somebody asked that.
Beyonce is such a Beyonce to me is the Michael Jackson of this generation, right? The only way Beyonce could, I don't know. Like, let me just say it this way: I am not that creative.
Yeah.
So whatever she comes up with to top it, I'm sure she has something that she's cooking up. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Beyonce on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people are saying like, oh, it's impossible to top Coachella.
No, everything's possible.
It's
Yeah,
Beyonce.
yeah, it's Beyonce, and you got the budget, you got the creative
she got the
minds,
Beyonce money.
You
Come
know,
on now.
and she got the work ethic.
Yes.
Can I tell you a story about how I met Beyonce?
Yes.
You met
Yes,
Beyonce?
you can.
This blew my whole. Okay,
listening.
randomly, this was like one of the craziest weekends of my life. Usher calls me, 1:00 in the morning, in LA. Hey, bro, you want to go to Atlanta with me? Okay. I mean, I got to do something tomorrow, but when we going? Right now. Okay. So I wake up.
Okay.
Okay. He's like, I got your ticket. Don't worry. Just, meet me at the airport. Then he sends me a text with the address to the airport. I know what the airport is, Usher. Why you say? It's not that airport. It's the private airport. Never been to the private airport. This is already working out crazy, right? So I get to the airport. Usher pulls up. I'm there. And he's like, oh, yeah, we just got to wait for a few minutes. Like, the plane's out there already. He's like, we just got to wait for my other homeboy coming. Other homeboy was Jermaine Dupri. Okay, so I'm on a plane. I'm on a private jet. This is some real shit. I'm on a private jet with Usher and Jermaine Dupri. It's me. Fly to Atlanta. We get to Atlanta. We work in the studio all day. Keep in mind, we're up all night. Usher does not sleep. Just doesn't. He's a workaholic.
You can see that.
We fly to Atlanta. Get there. We work all day. I am now dog tired. Okay. So sleep is about 7 o'clock. Usher's still up and going. 7 o'clock at night. Okay. Usher's like, hey man, y'all wanna go play some spades? I'm like, bro, I'm really tired. I was thinking about going home. He's like, nah, just come with me. Cause I'm gonna need a partner, cause Jay already got his partner. We're gonna just blah, blah, blah. So I'm got on like sweats. I'm not dressed. Don't worry about it, just come on. So we go get in the car, we drive. I'm thinking we're going to somebody's house, play some spades. We go to Phillips Arena. Okay. Jay is Jay-Z. Okay. All right. So this is really getting weird. Okay. Jay is Jay-Z. You think I'm lying? I swear to God. We walk into the Phillips Arena. Jay-Z is doing the 444 tour in Atlanta, right? Boom. So I'm in okay, so now it's me, Jay-Z, Jermaine Dupri, Usher, right? Okay. This is already gets better. So we play a few hands of spades. All right. I play spades with Jay-Z. The real shit. Concert get ready to start. They take us up to the little suite. We sitting up there. Jeezy joins us. So now this is real. This is really happening in my real life. Okay, now I took a couple pictures, but I don't like to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, nah, we just hit. They were friends. These guys are friends. I'm just here, right? All right, so 444 tour. We're up in the little suite, so it's like a couple rows of seats in a little box. So I'm sitting at the end in the aisle, right? So it's me, Usher, Jermaine Dupri, Jeezy, 4 seats. We sitting up at the top. I'm knocked out when the show started. I'm tired. There's too much excitement for me. Plus, I had a little Douce in the back. So I'm sitting there. I fall asleep, right? And somebody steps on my foot. So I'm thinking that one of these boys is getting up. So I kind of jump up like this. As soon as I jump up, somebody hit me in the chest. Super hard. Bah! It's Julian, the big bodyguard dude. The person who had just stepped on my foot was Beyonce, right? So she kind of slides through. She's like, oh, excuse me. So Usher go, oh, B, this is Sebastian, da-da-da. He's a great writer. Oh, my pleasure to meet you, Sebastian. She was so nice. Okay, all right. So she then walks back out. I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Beyonce stepped on my foot. I'm not washing these shoes. So I lean back. I go back to sleep. Like, because of course they tell you you can't take any pictures when Beyonce's around. Yeah. Like, okay. So I lean back and go back to sleep. So a couple seconds later, somebody else stepped on my foot. Now I know better than to move so fast this time. So I look up, kind of open my eye, and it's blue. She just kind of woke. And so Beyonce said, now say excuse me. And she said, excuse me. Excuse me. Anyway, that's my story about how I met Beyonce.
What in the world?
I would be so honored.
Yeah, I was. It was crazy shit in my life.
That definitely has to be like, wow, this damn.
And it was a dumb, she just stepped on my foot, but yeah, that was.
Literally, like, from the phone call to all of that.
Right,
like,
that happened in 24 hours. Like that, yeah.
I would have been like,
that was a crazy story.
I would have literally been, because I talk to myself all the time, so I would have been like, is this happening?
Is this real? Yeah, that's how I felt. Like,
am I still asleep?
Like, this is a bunch of people like.
Drink.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Did I imagine this?
Did I imagine?
Okay, wow.
I wish it was me.
Never had a day that crazy before.
Oh
okay.
my gosh.
Next question somebody wants to know. I don't know how we move on from
I
that.
know, right?
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that was
Beyonce. What?
Right.
Okay. So are hood dudes coming back in style?
Somebody actually asked that too.
Our hood dudes never leave. They never go outside.
I was about to say I never thought that they were gone.
Nah, they're not gonna go. They're not gonna go. Well, hopefully we get ready to transform what hood is though.
What you want to transform into?
Right.
It is the prayer that the hood like when you say hood, most of the time people think gangster, but gangster and hood two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Hood are just men who grew up in a certain area, so they have a certain swagger about themselves. They they talk a certain way, and those men, hopefully, we're especially in this city, we're trying to build those brothers up to where they're more affluent and they're more involved and they're more part of the community instead of just being like in the community, but being like a part of it. Those men and women, you know what I'm saying? But we're trying to really change. I noticed like a lot of people are starting businesses, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and so when you start a business, anybody that's in business will tell you need to know the politicians. You can't really do business until you know them, because you need taxes to be worked a certain way, or you need this road to be a little bit better off because I can't get customers. So you go from being just a business owner to being a part of the politic to being a real voice in the community. Like you become that because you need it. You know what I'm saying? And that's still hood, right? But now when I'm talking about Dolomite, I'm talking to my city council representative about Dolomite. I'm not just saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's still hood, and that'll never go out of style either. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna sit around and talk about this my block. We just gonna really make it my block. You know what I'm saying? That'll never
Ownership.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have any more questions?
They had that one question that's a little funky, so bear with me.
Oh, the one where somebody was definitely asking from a hurt place.
Yeah, I think it was kind of.
I might really know this person.
There's a lot of hurt people out here. Okay, so legit a question. Why do people, specifically women, set themselves up for failure when they know, all caps, it ain't gonna end well?
Well, it is impossible to tell. It's impossible to answer that question because I do not know anyone's intentions. But I will say this. There are rules to a game, right? And when you play a game with certain rules, you get certain outcomes, right? I think our problem in this has been we're really playing the wrong game. I don't even know how to say this without going too crazy, but if what you wanted out of life, like when you were a kid, what you want to be when you grew up?
Ooh, I think I wanted to be a fashion designer.
You want to be a fashion designer? Is that still what you want to do?
No.
No. Okay. Do you remember when that changed?
Probably after middle school.
Okay, after middle school. And what, like, are you doing now? What do you want to do? Is this what you want to be in this space now? All right. So at some point you decided that's not quite it. That looked good from a distance, but I don't want to do that. I want to do this. And so you start to kind of take the steps to get into that. When it comes to relationships, it's as if we have this one thing that we can do. This is what it must be, right? That's not real. It's not real. The failures are because I believe people are trying to take all of their wonderful creativeness and, different ways that they feel and different things that they do and put it into, I'm a girlfriend now. I'm a boyfriend now. Everybody ain't built for that. Right?
A word.
Right?
Message.
And you could be a girlfriend or a boyfriend. I'm not saying you built to be single either. I'm saying, but what does that mean? How does that look to you? Right? And so when you coming into a situation, we make all these dumbass rules, and somebody was like, I hope you got $200 date pussy. Right? You want me to take you on a $200 date?
Okay.
Literally,
I hope you got
it seemed that
concept.
argument.
Right.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, you're trying to put too many things into, right? Just live, live, find, be happy. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that no better than that. Be happy. And that doesn't, when I compare myself to you and I go, well, she's in a relationship and I want to be in a relationship, but you might not know what that is. You might need something altogether different. It's 7 billion of us here. There's no way all 7 billion of us need a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You could need a friend. You could need You can need so many things. Like you can define that yourself, and that way you can't fail at what you're building, because you can define it, right? Build what you need and stop trying to be in what everybody. Yeah.
Because you don't know what them folks got going on.
You don't know what's going on.
Right. People post their highlights.
Right,
they don't
of course.
Post the,
Of course. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was saying that just the other day. Like, people be like, oh, man, the music today is so bad. When I was growing up, we had da-da-da-da. And I was like, bro, the only reason why you remember those songs is because those were the good ones. Y'all had some shitty songs then, too. But they just stopped playing them because they were shitty. You know what I'm saying? And you're right. People post their highlights. And you see them all, now they wearing matching pajamas and shit. But,
But before them pajamas.
Right, before the pajamas. And I'm not here to put down them I'm just saying, define your thing, right? All of us are not supposed to look the same. Like, all these relationships can't look the same. They're not supposed to. I don't need what he needs. You know what I'm saying? Or you need, or pick out what you are really. It ain't all got to work like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just not supposed to all work like that. I love when I hear people talk about their alternative relationships. I know people who are married who don't live together. I do. I know people who are polyamorous. I know gay people, straight people. You know, I love it because that's what you needed. You know what I'm saying? If you're happy in that, then go for that. Quit trying to.
Don't let society tell you what you need to be happy.
Yeah, you got to be happy at the end of the day. I know folk that's as unhappily married as the day is long.
That's real.
Real.
Can't let society tell you what you need to do in your house, your four walls, to be happy.
Yeah, be happy, man. Yeah, that's
Period.
it. That's it.
Melissa, I think we had some amazing conversation today.
Good times.
Some good discussions. So
Had
we're gonna go
a
ahead.
breakthrough.
Ashley had a breakthrough.
I think we did.
She has been changed,
I have
healed,
been
set free, and
changed.
delivered.
I'm healed.
Okay?
And delivered.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And delivered.
So, again, I am Tori G. You can follow me on Instagram at @theofficialToriG. That's TORI and the letter G.
And I'm Ashley Nicole. Follow me on IG _Miss Ashley with 2 Y's Nicole. Make sure you follow our social media pages, the Unfiltered Podcast _ on IG and Facebook.
Okay, and one more time.
I am Sebastian Kole, SebastianKole on all social media.
All of them.
Yes. Thank you so much, and peace out. Until next time, y'all.
Bye.
All right.